Which of the following best illustrates an improvement in a country's standard of living? So A says an increase in real per capita gross domestic product. So real GDP is per capita is the GDP per capita after accounting for inflation. So this indicates that there is an increase in economic output per person, and that means that the country's standard of living has increased. So A is likely correct, but let's check the others. B says an increase in nominal per capita gross domestic product. So nominal indicates that this statistic here is not being accounted for inflation. So that means that if there's an increase in nominal per capita GDP, that could just be the result of increasing inflation, which does not increase the country's standard of living. So B does not indicate that a country's standard of living increased. This could just be the result of increasing inflation. C says price stability. So price stability just indicates that prices aren't fluctuating much, meaning they're not rising or falling a lot. And that just doesn't always mean that a country's standard of living is being increased, because just because prices are stable doesn't indicate how an increase in consumers' purchasing power or standard of living. So C does not indicate an increase in standard of living. D says a balanced budget. So a balanced budget just means a country's government is spending and earning equally. So they're not spending more than they have. And that doesn't necessarily mean an increase in a country's standard of living, because a budget can be balanced for a country, but their economic output per person could still be low. He says an increase in the consumer price index. So the consumer price index is an indicator that describes the current state of prices for common goods, and an increase in the consumer price index indicates that prices are higher or there's inflation, which either way means lower purchasing power for the country's citizens. So that means that this actually indicates usually a decrease in a country's standard of living. So it means A is the correct answer.